Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV. I wanted to do an update about new home sales and if you need a real estate agent to go to a new home sale. So if you've ever been in New Home Track, you probably realize that they have a person in there, and when you walk in, they usually make you sign in, and then they let you go see the model homes. And then if you want one, you just tell them, yeah, I want to buy this one. You pick the lot, you pick your upgrades, and you get through. So you're probably saying, hey, wait a minute, what do I really need an agent for if if I'm going to go to a New Home Track? So it's a really good question, and the answer is that you don't have to have one. Actually, you don't have to have a real estate agent to buy any house. You could just go see a sign and then go call that agent, who's the listing agent, and buy the house from that agent. Just like at regular sales. So you're probably saying, well, what's the benefit? So we're going to talk about some of the benefits maybe of having an agent. Okay, so benefit number one is there's no cost. So that agent's going to get paid a commission for you going in there, and they'll represent you and do a lot of work for you. And you're probably saying, well, I don't really need representation because, well, the truth is you do, and this is why. That person that's working in the sales office, they work for the seller, meaning their job, they have to make certain quotas and goals and make sales in that office, okay? So all they care about is selling a unit. They don't care who they sell it to. So you may or may not get the right information about the unit. They may say something you're not supposed to. They may try to, oh yeah, this is whatever promises they make. They're going to talk you into it. They're all going to tell you everything good. They're not going to tell you anything bad, okay? And I'll give you an example. We took a client into a new home subdivision, and they filled out all the paperwork, and they got this disc that had all the HOA rules. And the person said to them, well, as soon as you sign this, you're committed, you have to buy the house, you can't get out, or we'll take your earnest money deposit. And they signed it, and I was there, and I said, actually, in front of this salesperson in the office, I said to them, that's not true. Actually, by law, you have 5 days to review the HOA, and if you don't like it, you can cancel and get your EMD back for any reason. And the person in the sales office was adamant that wasn't the case. That doesn't apply to new homes, whatever. The truth is it does. It applies to any purchase of a home. In an HOA, you have to have that. So this person wasn't getting good advice. They were basically being told something that wasn't true by that person in there. So you have to be careful about that. Okay. The next thing is to be careful of is if you have a house to sell first, a lot of times you can't buy on contingency, meaning you can't say, I want to go under contract by the house, but only go forward with the transaction if this house sells, because a lot of times they won't do that. They'll say, no, it's not contingent. If this house doesn't sell and you don't close, you're going to lose your earnest money deposit. Sometimes you have to put down a lot more money for $5,000, $10,000, or whatever to get in those. The other thing is they have loan officers in there already, and be careful because what happens is a lot of times those loan officers bump up the rate you're going to get because they feel they have a captive audience that's not competitive. Sometimes the builder will incentivize you. We'll give you $5,000 of upgrades if you use our lender. And the truth is, if they're adding $10,000 of costs on the back end for them in loan fees and interest rates, and it's not all with the cost, sometimes it's with the interest rate. So if you may pay 0.5% more, but $5,000 isn't, over the course of that loan, they're going to make up for that. Okay, so just be careful with that. Don't be afraid to bring in your own lender and say, hey, I got a competitive quote. So, and that's something your agent should help you for as well. Okay, another thing is, keep this in mind that when you're putting upgrades in the house, sometimes they charge a big premium, meaning way more than you could get it done. I'll give you an example. Toll Brothers was building houses here, and if you wanted upgraded flooring, it was really expensive, and I remember pricing it out. So I told this person in the sales office, hey, look, we don't want this flooring. We're going to have our own put in, so we just want the floors left bare, and if we have the floors left bare, how much money do we save? And they said, actually, if we leave the floors bare, there's like a $4,000 cost for that. And I said, really? That doesn't make sense. They said, no. It's going to be a cost to have the floors bare. It's going to cost you more money because we've already prepaid for all the stuff. And I said, fine, put in all the basic stuff. basic carpet, basic everything, just basic, don't want anything in there, not changing the flooring, because the flooring, when you get a bid for flooring a lot of time, that includes the free removal of whatever's down there. So rip up the carpet and tear up the linoleum and put down the nice stuff. So, and you won't know that unless you have a real estate agent or someone with some experience and expertise to sort of help you through that, okay? The other thing is, the person in the new home subdivision may not be telling you exactly what the future plans are. Like, for example, they may start off with the big houses first, and then later on they sell a bunch of small houses in the neighborhood. Well, that could hurt you, because if you buy a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot house, and then, 6 months later they're building 2,000 square foot houses, that average sales price in that neighborhood is going to fall. It's going to hurt the value of your home, even though you have a bigger home. You want to be the smallest house in a neighborhood of bigger homes, is a general rule. And then you want to avoid being the biggest house in the neighborhood, the most done house in the neighborhood. That's typically not very good. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about. Home inspector. Yes, I know it's a brand new home, but I guarantee you a home inspector will find things wrong. So this is my recommendation. You're going to get a final walkthrough. On your final walkthrough, tell them, I'm bringing my home inspector with me. Have your home inspector do a full inspection of the house with them there while they're doing their notes, and everything he finds, have them fixed. We went to do a brand new house. It was brand new. The guy, they freaked when we showed up with the home inspector, with the client. We're like, look, we can by law have him here. We're paying him. Well, he went up in the attic and found that the trusses that they used were twisted. They were physically twisted. He said, hey, look, these things are twisted. You need to put extra supports in there to hold them so that the roof doesn't collapse. And the builders were not real happy that they were just basically doing kind of shoddy work, and his home inspector caught a bunch of stuff like that. So anyway, bottom line is, you don't need a real estate agent to go buy a new home. You definitely, though, can hire one. The builder, they'll get paid the commission by the sales office and the seller, so you don't have to worry about any expense typically out of pocket. And then all the stuff I talked about, they should know, plus a bunch of other stuff. I just wanted to cover the biggest things, because I know a lot of people go in and they buy, they're not represented, and then 6 months later they're complaining about something that an agent would have caught. So anyway, that is my update for today, and hope to see you on another video. Thanks.